Welcome everyone, my name is Claudia. This is my English podcast, Knitting and Spinning, and you are on the Untitled channel. Today I have a quick one for you because in an hour I have to leave to go get dental surgery. Too much information? Maybe. That's okay. That's what I do. I like to overshare on my channel. I'm getting dental surgery. I'm getting the roots of my wisdom teeth removed. The sucky part about it is that I already know that it's gonna hurt like hell afterwards, and I already know that I'm gonna look like this, and I already know all these because I got the crowns removed 5 months ago. I went through the whole process thinking that it was gonna be over with, and now 5 months later, I have to go get the roots removed because my body is rejecting them. Fun? Not. It's gonna be horrible. I will hate every last second of it. I'm sorry for you guys if some of you are planning a wisdom teeth removal soon. It sucks. There's no positive about it except the fact that I will never have to deal with it ever again. So yeah, I'm gonna do a quick podcast today. I'm gonna try. Didn't even put makeup on because I couldn't be bothered to take it off before going to dental surgery, and obviously afterwards all I'm gonna want to do is sit on the couch, watch TV, or read if I can, maybe knit if I feel up to it, but it's pretty gross business, so I don't know that I will want to. Let's start knitting and spinning. Here we go. I have one finished project to show you. It's a quick one because I talked about it last time. It is the socks for my daughter. So those are tiny little socket, little ankle socks that I knit for my 7-year-old. 2x2 ribbing, 52 stitches on 2.25mm needles, which is my go-to for sock knitting. And yeah, with an Eye of the Partridge heel in contrasting color, regular gusset and toe. And as you can tell here, I ran out of the self-striping, the continuous self-striping, and I had to go dig into the tiny little ball that I had left from knitting my own socks. So when I knit my socks from the same color, I finished with a certain color and I wanted to start the other sock with the same progression of colors. So I took out 2 stripes and I put it to the side knowing that I might need it, and I needed it right here. So I have this big gray stripe, which I don't care, it's fine. She's gonna love them anyway. And just to show you how much, where did I put it? I had the little leftover ball somewhere. Can't find it. I'll find it again at some point. But literally, like, I have this tiny little ball that includes the main color and the contrast color. Like, it's ridiculously, like, I was really short on yarn, which is amazing because I love not having much left over. This is yarn from Art Textile du Témiscouata. And it was a special colorway that she dyed especially for Clos Tricot, and she dyed a limited amount. So I'm starting to see some pairs pop out on Instagram, and I love seeing them because people tag me on them since it's a Clos Tricot color, and I love seeing people knit my color. Anyway, so that was a 52 stitches, if I didn't say it. It's for my 7-year-old who's almost, her feet are almost the same size as me now. I have very tiny feet. First finished object. Second finished object was a pair of socks that I also knit. I knit them toe up for my channel to do a toe up with gusset and heel flap tutorial. And they were too big for me because they were in Patton's Croy, and even though I casted on the same amount of stitches I always do, which is 56 stitches on 2.25mm needle, because the yarn is bigger, they ended up being too big. I really don't mind because my sock drawer is chock full of socks already, so I've been knitting a lot for others. So when I finished that pair, it was in perfect timing for the end of school because today is Wednesday. I'm filming on the Wednesday, even though I posted on the Saturday because I will be unable to film tomorrow and the day after and the day after. And today's the last day of school for my 7-year-old who's in 2nd grade. And she's had the same teacher for 2 years and I love her very much. And so I knit her a pair of socks. And she was very happy to receive my pair of socks. looks, so I can't show it to you, but I think I showed them on the last podcast, so you can go back and check. It's classic Patton's Croix, always a good yarn, like always. It's such a workhorse yarn, like it feels very woolly and it just stands the test of time. Absolutely. All right, those are the only finished objects I have. I did finish this beautiful triangle that I showed the very beginning of last podcast. And so it is the tweed base from Bleu Poussière. Bleu Poussière means dusty blue, by the way. And what was I gonna say about that? I can't wait to keep knitting those. There's 24 of those triangles, and it's the Stamina blanket by Camille Descoteaux. I talk a lot about, like, if you're English speaking and you're from elsewhere than Quebec, I obviously talk a lot about local designers and local yarn dyers, and I hope you guys like discovering new people. If you haven't, most of the Quebec designers design in French and English because we're a bilingual province. Most people are bilingual, even though it might not be as, like, not everybody's level of English is like 100%, but still it's always decent enough, or mostly always decent enough to like write a pattern in English as well. And obviously it's a bigger, you're catering to a lot more people if your pattern is in English as well. If you only write it in French, it's a little bit of a smaller pool of people that might be interested in your patterns, which is also okay, but you know. So yeah, this is my 9th square, I believe, or 10th, I'm not sure. I'm gonna make 24, and it's gonna make an hexagon blanket. Super exciting. It's mosaic, so don't be scared if you're scared of Fair Isle. It is not Fair Isle, it's not stranded, it's mosaic, so you're only always holding one color at a time. Super easy. What else? I feel like I'm in a rush. I kind of am. Forgive me if I sound like I'm in a rush. This is my beautiful, again, Camille Descoteaux, beautiful Velen. Velen, it's originally a t-shirt, so Velen tee, but mine is gonna be a dress. So I'm in the middle of a row, obviously. But this is the color Comédie Divine, Fremen Shani, Moomin Falls in Love, and Gris de Lin. And those colors, like Shani from Bleu Poussière, only dyes with natural dyes, which is amazing. All the colors she can get are gorgeous. And so yeah, I'm making it into a dress. Last time I laughed when I looked it up, because last time I said, oh, I'm gonna go look at the Aros sweater by Petite Knit and try and do her increases in order to make it into a dress when you hit, you know, the hip level. She doesn't increase. She has a pattern that, you know, she considers to have, she wants you to make it into a certain amount of positive ease. So because you have positive ease on the upper body, when you get to the butt, you don't have to increase, you just keep going. So that doesn't help me because I'm knitting this as a 0 ease t-shirt. I'm doing the smallest size, which is 33 inches bust, and I have a 33-inch bust. So I'm at 0 ease, and yes, it is stretchy. So technically when I hit my butt, my butt would fit. It would fit, but I have a good butt. I have a good amount. What I don't have in boobs, I make up for in booty. And so I don't want the fabric to like be super stretched. I don't like the look of like hyper stretched fabric on my butt. So I'm doing some very non-scientific increasing. I'm taking 5 stitches under the armpit that I'm keeping as is, and on each side of those 5 stitches, I'm increasing 1 stitch every 4 rows for now. I started when the t-shirt was at my hip bone level. I will keep trying it on. So my secret is just try it, try it, try it, try it, try it. If it ends up being too small by the time I hit the biggest part of my butt, I'll rip back, I'll do more increasing. If it's too big, then I'll rip back and do less increasing. Really, I could measure myself. I could do all the math because it's not that complicated. Length and like difference of circumference, one divided by the other would give me the whole thing. I don't want to. I don't feel like it, so I'm not doing it. This is the yarn. The yarn is called Elios, and it's a 50% merino, 50% mulberry silk. It is the softest thing ever, but it's not soft in it's soft in a silky way. It's not soft in a mohair way. Like, it's not soft in a hairy way. You know what I mean? It's slick. It's slick. It's silky. Obviously, it's 50% silk. So I'm really happy about it. I knitted until I had almost no more of this color, and then I alternated for a few rows with the new color. Then it so happened that it was perfect for where the v-neck was meeting and where the armholes were getting separated with the rest of the body. I knitted most of the body. I went back to knit the sleeves that I made a little bit shorter than what Camille does. And it has a super cute little picot bind off. How cute is that? It's gonna lay flatter, I believe, once I block it. And then it's gonna have the same picot bind off at the bottom. I'm at the 4th color, and I have 3 colors left. 1, 2, 3, which are that was Gris de Lin, that's Pendulum and Chadruelle, but this one I can't remember just now, and I don't really feel like going to check. You can go on the 2 weeks ago, and the color will be listed there. So yeah, we'll see if I get to this color or if those get me enough length. I'm just knitting until I run out. So I'm very non-mathematical about things, and I just knit until I feel like I'm gonna run out. Like until I feel I have about 4 rows worth, and then I alternate for 8 rows, 4 of each color, and then I keep going with the other. So I did have to go unpick the cast on of my small sample to get a little bit of the beige, because I had literally had maybe like 40 stitches left to do, and I didn't have any more yarn, so I was like, I'm not ripping the whole row. So instead I unpicked. It would have been less long to just undo the whole row, but no, I unpicked the cast on edge of my swatch, and I knit directly from my swatch. This is knit on 3mm needles, which is the needles recommended by the pattern, and the fit is extraordinary. Really, the shoulders, the way they're constructed, the v-neck is at a really good level. I love it. Can't wait to wear it. My friend was like, are you gonna go commando under there? No, I never do that. I'm really not comfortable without underwear, ever. So no, it's not gonna happen, but it's gonna feel amazing on the rest of my body. That is for sure. So that's that. Oh, what I'm wearing, because I talked about the beautiful colors of Shani. This is my little secret crop from Jessie Made Designs, and it's a little tank top that has this. You could do a cross back, but I love the just regular, and I use scraps. So this is the Pied Bleu from Bleu Poussière, which is their sock base. Like I believe it's BFL nylon, or yeah, I believe so. And I used 2 strands of this color, which was Vulcain. And then I used 1 strand of Vulcain and 1 strand of this one, which is the Are You Crazy color in the Aries base, which is her MCN, Merino Cashmere Nylon. Then I used 2 strands of that one. Then I added a double strand of a lace weight. I believe it's the Dentelle by Urso Yarn Co. In the color Citrus. That, like, you can't really tell, but there's little speckles. Difficult to tell on this knitted fabric, but it was a beige base or a cream base with like little speckles of yellow, green, and orange. It's not citrus, it's zest. And then when I ran out of that, I added 2 strands of lace weight, a random cream that I had in my stash that, who knows? I don't know what it was. So that's that. And my little secret crop is maybe my favorite crop top or tank top. Sorry, from Jessie Made Design. I just really love the neckline, and it's my second one, and I will absolutely knit another one. I don't know when, but I really want to knit another one because I feel, yes, it's 2 fingering weights together, which makes it almost like a worsted gauge, but it's not that hot because you're wearing like it's a crop top. Who cares? The other one that I knit was out of Holskarn Coast, which is their merino cotton, which was great too for that particular design. I did go down needle size though, but it'll all be in my project page on Ravelry. If you're not using Ravelry, I'm sorry. I haven't taken the time to find a solution yet to not using only Ravelry. I'll get there. Okay, so what else? Oh yeah, my newest cast on. This one's very exciting. I showed you the yarn last week. Oh, I have lots of change in my bag. I showed you the yarn last podcast, not last week, 2 weeks ago, which is this one. Which is the Subtle Stripe bat set from Artifacts of Appreciation that I stripped into very thin strips and then spun one after the other, trying to keep a order, but I ended up not being able to. I kind of messed it up. That's okay. And then I chain plied to get a subtle stripe pattern. Just giving me this right now. So you can tell that my stripes are absolutely not equal. I have a little green up here, then it goes into a brown, pinkish brown, then it goes into this green, and then a big chunk of the bluish gray, and a chunk here of, I believe this is all the same color, but maybe this is a different one than this one. Yeah, I think so. They're pretty subtle. Like I said, it's subtle stripes, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And obviously the second one is not going to be the same as the first one. And like I said, I didn't bother making sure that my stripes were equal at all, which I'm 100% okay with. I did a 2x2 rib. And I don't know why I have a 2x2 rib kind of thing right now. Usually I do it 1x1, but I decided to use, even though the yarn is a little bit thicker than fingering weight, it's mostly sport weight. There's sections that are more fingering, but there's section that would also be DK. Like I wasn't very consistent. I was just having fun spinning, so I wasn't looking at what I was doing so much, which I'm fine with. But I still used my 2.25 millimeter and 9-inch circulars. Those are the Haya. And I'm really happy with the result. It gives a good thick sock, but because the yarn is bigger, I originally casted on 56 stitches, which is the number of stitches I usually cast on for myself. And after doing the cuff, I measured it to my other socks and it was too big. So I reduced, I ripped it off and ripped it up. Anyway, and cast it on 52 stitches instead, which gives me a perfect sock. I can't wait to keep going. Now I'm gonna be very soon at the stage where I will do the heel flap And for the heel flap and heel turn, I will add this thing here, which came in the package, which was dyed by Artifacts of Appreciation, Lindsay. It's a very small strand, lace weight to cobweb maybe, of 70% mohair, 20% wool and 10% silk. And she put it in there so we could use it to reinforce the heels. I might reinforce the sole as well, but if I do that, I'll have to cut, like, I'm not gonna intarsia the whole thing. So if I reinforce the sole, maybe I'll just cut the yarn at the end every row. Like, it's not gonna unravel the sock, obviously, because I have another yarn going around, round. So if I cut every row, am I gonna lose a lot of yarn in the end? I don't know. Or maybe I'll just weave patches on the sole where I mainly run holes into my socks. I don't know. Anyway, this is from Les Belles Bouclettes, I believe. And it's 10 grams, but 10 grams is like tons of yardage because it's such a lightweight yarn. So this is what's happening there. Very excited for those socks. Those are absolutely for me. And what I've been doing too is going through my stash of socks, and I think I'm gonna like start giving some away that are not super worn. Like, I have so many, I can't wear them all, and I want to keep knitting some, so I'm gonna probably like give a pair to my mom, give a pair to my sister, you know, the people that have same size feet as me. Now we're going to be into the section that's going to be spinning, but before, I'm just going to talk a tiny bit about future projects. I'm going to have a lot of time to knit, I believe, because of my surgery and because my husband is leaving with the kids for a week for the States. They are, all three of them are dual citizens, so they, my husband is originally American and he got his Canadian citizenship last year and a half ago. And my kids were born here in Montreal, but because they have an American dad, we got them their American citizenship, which is great because during the pandemic right now, the land crossing is only for essential traveler if you're not American. But if you're an American, they're not gonna restrict you coming into the country. So my husband and the two kids are going in a week to the States for a week. They haven't seen the family in 18 months, 19 months. It's been forever. The kids are really excited to go see their grandmother, which means I'm going to stay at home for a full week by myself. It's not going to be all fun and games because like I'm post-surgery, but I think I'm going to have a bunch of time to knit and spin. So yeah, here are some things that I'm planning on knitting soon. Oh, I found a little ball of what was left over from, from my kids' socks. Really a tiny little bit. So what I'm gonna do next soon-ish is this. This is 2 braids that I spun out of Created by LCB braids that were BFL braids. And these are gonna go together most likely in a Rocket Tee by Tanis Lavallée. Tanis Lavallée is a designer here in Quebec, and she's also the dyer behind Tanis Fiber Arts. And the Rocket Tee is usually mohair and a fingering in thick stripes, and it's a t-shirt. I have those 2 colors that I think will make a beautiful one, even though it's not mohair and fingering, it's 2 fingerings, but really cute. Because I don't think with 2 braids, 2 hanks, I have enough to make a full-length sweater. Maybe I'll make a, I could make it like a 3/4 sleeve Rocket Tee. I'll see. It's really, I really love those 2 colors together. They're so me. Okay, it's a 2-ply that I spun. Both of them I spun 1 strand on my supported spindles and 1 strand on my wheel. I like doing that because I feel like I'm having fun seeing how the color moves on 2 different devices, no, tools, 2 different tools. So that's one. And the second project I have in mind is with this hand spun braid that is from On a Quest for Fiber. She's Canadian. I believe she's in BC. And that braid is beautiful. It was called Spring Birds in the Springtime? No, I don't remember. I'll remember. It's gorgeous. And it's a little bit more like spun tight. Like the other one I loosely twisted on the ply twist. This one was my first ever full braid, and I think I overdid it a little bit on the ply twist. It's very very twisted, but I don't care. I think it's going to be amazing to go with because I found the perfect yarn to go with it. I didn't know what I was going to do with it one full hang because I'm like, I don't want to waste it on like a little yoke for a sweater and then be done and have tons of leftover. That'd be really sad. I want to use the whole thing. So in a D-stash, someone was letting go of three skeins of this, which is Urso Yarn Co. It's her mohair that's called Lune. Lune means moon in French, and it's 70% kid mohair and 30% mulberry silk. 3 skein, and it's the color Pensée. Pensée, which is a what is it in English? A pensée is this purple flower, the very cute small purple flowers with yellow in the middle. Pensée. So that's a colorway, and this will become a spot sweater by Anne Bentzel. I've been eyeing that sweater forever, and she has 2 versions of that sweater. One is made with a fingering weight held double with a mohair, like held with a mohair, not double, like you don't double the strain of the fingering, just 1 fingering, 1 mohair as a main color, and 1 fingering as a contrast color. The other one she has, which is dreamy, because I can imagine the texture, is 3 strands of mohair as the main color and 1 fingering weight, maybe doubled with mohair. I'm not sure for the contrast color. So the beauty of that is that I have 3 strands of mohair that I can knit throughout, and because they're not the same, like it's hand dyed, right? So technically, if I were to do something with 1 strand, I would have to alternate to have a sweater that doesn't have, you know, pulling and stuff and a big bar in the middle. But because you're using 3 strands, you're using the 3 balls all throughout the sweater, which is amazing. And then this will be the contrast color. I can't believe it's gonna be like the fluffiest thing ever. Fluffy, fluffy. So that's a project that I have. I don't know for when. And then spinning. So I've been spinning since a while. I've been very monogamous. So this is what I showed you last time. I think I had this and this completely full, and then I have this one that I've been spinning. And then I also felt like using my wheels. So I've been, here's my whole flyer. I took out the whole flyer. This is what I've been working on my wheels. So I splitted this huge 7.1 ounce braid from Inglenook fiber. That's Polworth, organic Polworth, and silk. Oh, by the way, the yarn from On a Quest for Fiber was the Falkland. Super easy to spin. Really enjoyed it. This is organic Polworth and silk from Inglenook fiber. So I split it, the 7.1 ounce braid, into 3 strips. I'm gonna finish the first strip on my supported spindle, the second strip on my wheel, the third one, I don't know. Originally I wanted to make a 3-ply. Am I gonna make a 3-ply? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I'll definitely sample. Like, I'll do a little bit as a 2-ply, see what it looks like, a little bit as a 3-ply, see what it looks like, because I don't want to muddy the beautiful colors. and they're already very like sprinkled everywhere. Like it's not a, like this had very clear sections of color. It was like green, turquoise, white, brown, and then I kind of mixed one of the ply. I did little rollags that I mixed the color in the rollags, and then the other one I spun a little bit more end to end color wise. But this has no definite color. It's, I'll show you. It's a speckled look, right? There's a bunch of colors everywhere. There's no chunk. So it's going to be very variegated in the result. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's just the best. And I've been very monogamous with my spinning, but in a few days, it's Tour de Fleece that's starting. It's going to be my first time spinning in Tour de Fleece, so I have no idea how much I'm going to be able to spin. I said that I might try and spin, like, I said an hour a day in my other podcast, but that's a little bit intense. Maybe I'll try and spin 30 minutes a day. One thing at a time. And I obviously will be spinning this gorgeous. This is the Tour de Fleece, one of the Tour de Fleece set from Inglenook Fibers. It's called Lavender Fields of Provence. And it is the Targhee Bamboo Tussa Silk version, because they also had organic Polworth and silk, and they also had cashmere. But since I was already spinning the organic Polworth, I said, let's try the other one. It's about 12.5 to 13 ounces. I haven't weighed mine yet, so I don't know how much each single braid weighs. And they look like this. I'm not going to take him out of the package because I don't have time. I wish I could. I'll show you, obviously, in 2 weeks what everything looks like. But look at that. It's gorgeous, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might just spin every braid by itself and then make some sort of a shifty moment. The Shifty Sweater by Andrea Maury. Maybe. I'll browse patterns. If you have ideas of what kind of thing I can make with this, like, that's a lot of fiber. A lot. So, like, and I'm small, like, I usually use 2.5 hank of fingering weight yarn to make a sweater. So, and that's like 8 ounces of fiber. So maybe I could spin something a little bit thicker, and I don't know, but it's just so pretty. So if you have ideas on what I should do with that, be my guest. So that's my next thing. So if I can manage to spin all of that during Tour de Fleece, that's gonna be great. If I can manage to finish the rest of my my other spin, which is the pink and orangey one, great. And then if I'm really crazy and end up like doing all of it, I also have this braid that I could spin. And this is Batten a Braid number 32 from Inglenook Fiber. It's the colorway Pizzazz, and it's Manx Lockton, 30% white blue-faced Leicester, and 30% Tussa Silk, and 10% flax. It's a lot of fun, and it's very bright. But there's also very dark colors, so I think when it's all spun up, it's gonna be, those really bright spots are gonna be muted down a little bit. I have no idea what I'll do with that either. I kind of wish I had more drop spindles, because I'd like to do a full project on a drop spindle again, but I only have one, and I feel like it's stopping me from starting. Maybe I could do this on a drop spindle. That'd be kind of fun. Let's see. I have yet to, I cannot spend my money right now on more spinning material, but I wish I would soon. Soon one day. Okay, well, that was kind of a quick, I feel like I went through everything really fast, but I do have to go, and I don't want to. I don't want to leave you to go do that, but I have to. Can you feel my desperation? But I'll see you again in 2 weeks, and I'll be feeling much better. And yeah, don't hesitate to go follow me on Instagram. I've been trying to put all my posts and stories in French and English when I can, because I want to include everyone. I hope you're having a great beginning of the summer, because it's officially summer. And I hope to see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.